Good stretch for sure. Hold on. Man, what's going on, y'all? How we doing today, baby? What's going on with you guys? I am here. I can't be here too long, but you know, figured I'd come in and say hi. What's up? What's up? Asami. Okay, all right. He is first. That's true. That's very true. You are first today. Mods, indeed. What's up, Don? How you doing, man? Welcome back. Keep stretching, Jace, making me feel. Pause, Asami. Heavy pause on that. No Diddy at all, my friend. Yeah, man, my body feels sore, but in a good way, you know, in a good way. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? What's up with you? What's going on? I'm sure we've all heard about what's happened to our dear friend Aubrey Graham. Unfortunate. I kind of feel sorry for him, oddly enough. I do. But you know, give us some inspiration. Your family were preachers, right? Yes. Not even are really. What y'all want me to preach about? Ask me any spiritual question. Why not? If you guys want to talk about game and all that, sure. But I'm not gonna be here long anyway. So if you want to talk about something else, that's cool too. Let me know. Who's that? Aubrey Graham? Formerly known as Drizzy, Drakey Drake, Champagne Poppy, amongst other names. How we doing though? What have we been up to today, guys? Have we had a productive day yet or no? Man, I might have thrown my back out, guys. I low-key might have thrown my back out. Which feels weird, but I should be fine. How did you convince your family that it isn't a sin to be sleeping around? I didn't convince anybody. I told them how I saw it. And, you know, if they were convinced or not is up to them. I don't really care. I do what I want. I do what I think is right according to, you know, my own teachings, my own research, what I've done, what I've discovered, and I go from there. I'm not really trying to convince anybody of anything, especially something that, you know, personal, something that important. I would never tell you guys how to worship your God. That is completely up to you. But from the way I understand God, from the way I see God, from the being that I perceive God to be, and when I say perceive, I'm not even talking about my physical senses. I'm talking about like a greater, deeper level of awareness and perception. God has a lot more to worry about than the things that a lot of Christians think he does. You know, I promise you, and again, this is me. You don't have to take this into consideration for your own life. I'm just saying, from everything I understand, God is being put in a box by a lot of people. A lot of people have put God in a box, and it's unfortunate. Your thoughts on DMing on IG. It's the same thing I say all the time. The majority of work will be done by your profile. That's what I think about it. Like, what do you say? How do you say it? How do you slide? What time is it best to slide? All that stuff is cool to study. But the most important thing by far is your profile. Because the moment you say anything, no matter what it is, the first thing she is instinctually going to do is go and check your profile. Go and see what the fuck you are, who you are, what you're working with, all that kind of stuff. So your profile has to exude a few particular traits. Leadership, passion, excitement. You have to make yourself look like someone she would want to be around when you're not just on the phone with her. Does that make sense? But yeah, it's your profile that's going to do most of the heavy lifting there. What was your lowest point in life? You don't have to tell me if it is too personal. I've had several low points. I don't know which one I would call my lowest. Um, when I left high school, I had just turned 16 when I graduated high school. This is back in Nigeria, by the way. I graduated high school, and not too long after that, my parents' marriage pretty much completely dissolved. Almost like they were just waiting for me to graduate and then, do their thing. And it was rough. It was very... it was tough, but it was also violent, unfortunately. And it was clear that, we had to leave that situation. So me and my mom, we left, and we kind of bounced around for a while. Me and my mom, we went from house to house to house. And some of the most interesting things that have ever happened to me in my life happened to me while we were doing all that bouncing. One time we had to live in this little shack, right? This tiny little place. It was opposite from a refugee camp. We had these Togolese refugees in that street. So these people, they come in from Togo. Shout out to my Togolese people. Made a lot of friends there. They lived in like this, it was a refugee camp on paper, but it was really the slums. And we lived next to them in this better looking shack, let's just say. And it was the roughest point at that time because of the condition we had to live in. I remember one night being woken up by God knows what. I'm going to say God woke me up, really. Because I woke up and I turned on my flashlight to check on my mom. Because we had big mosquito problems. Like, there was a swamp nearby, stagnant water, just breeds mosquitoes. And I woke up, me and my mom were sleeping in the same room. And I woke up from my mattress. Of course, mattress is right on the floor. And I look over at her mattress, and her leg is sticking out of the mattress, but at the foot of her leg is a scorpion, like literally pointed, ready to strike. And when I say the adrenaline that went through my body, I'll never forget moments like that. I had so many moments like that. Like, we had to deal with snakes and all kinds of weird and interesting creatures, man. But that would definitely be one of the lowest points in my life, because that was one of the points where I genuinely began to doubt God. In fact, I would say that was the first time in my life I began to doubt God, like the existence of a God. Like, there's no way there's a God if I'm going through this kind of suffering. But the irony is, by the end of that situation is where I really became even more concrete in God, because he revealed himself to me. The first time in my life at that point, right? Like, real revealing himself to me, not like through other people, not, I'm getting too deep. But yeah, I've had several moments in my life that were less than ideal. Let's call it that. Growing up in the third world ain't easy. Growing up poor in the third world is not for the weak. So when I came to America, yeah, this is like playing the game on easy mode for me. Thoughts on arriving in the gym. What about arriving in the gym? What's wrong with arriving in the... Approaching in the gym. Oh, I see. I've already answered this question. The answer to the question is the same as always. Build a reputation at the gym first. Don't do cold approaches at the gym. Build a reputation at the gym first. Build a reputation. Make sure everyone is actually, like, nice to you, and you're nice to everyone, and you've built a solid name. Then you can begin to talk to people on like a warm approach type of situation, and then from there you can start getting the girls you want. But it should always be a warm approach type of thing. Visit frequently, and visit at the times where the girls are more likely to be there. Show off personality, but don't be direct in your intent or interest or indicating interest. All right, just be cool and be calm with everyone. Should you always leave a date first when she's high in emotions and the tension is high? If the date is going well, the way it should end is you saying bye to her, and she leaving your house or you leaving hers. That if the date actually goes well. So if you're talking about like these weird speed dates where you just go and then you leave right after, I mean, yeah, you can leave when the emotion is high, but it's a double-edged sword. Because if you leave when the emotion is high, you also have to keep that emotion high while you're talking to her on the phone before you meet her again, which is very difficult to do. So it's almost always smart to like bring the emotion down to like a leveled plane then leave the date so that you can actually reignite the emotions you had before on the phone. It'll just be easier that way. But for the most part, always try to consummate the affair on the date. If the date is going well, you like the girl in question, you want to see her again, then yeah, just shoot to end the date in the way a date should end, which is you and her getting naked. Let's see. Oh shit, Jace, forgot to tell you I took this girl out to a date. Everything went well. We got to her house and she was about to hit, and then stopped myself, and now she blocked me on everything. You were about to hit and stopped yourself? Why? Why? What is this? Huh? I'm gonna need an explanation for that. Why? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Of course she blocked you on everything. Duh. You just called her ugly without actually saying the word ugly. What? When did I ever teach you guys to do that? What are you doing? You got scared? Well, then there you go. Well, now you learn a valuable life lesson, right? Act like a pussy, get treated like a pussy. You can't be too surprised. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. The hell? Got scared. Ugh. You said a first date shouldn't last more than an hour, but is it enough to get a lot of emotions out of her and ending up kissing? A first date in the first date location really shouldn't last longer than an hour. The majority of the date should last after you've left that first location. So you'll know if the emotions are right if you can go from one location to the other. So can you take her from that first location to another location, and can you take her from that location to your place or hers? That's how you, like, if you want more detail on this, please go and get my course, The Interview Light. There's a reason I made that course, right? It details everything you should be doing, because, like, why are you even waiting to the second date to consummate the relationship to begin with? You feel me? Oh, I just missed someone's pinned comment. Sorry, I didn't see that. Not related to game, but when you said he revealed himself, what do you mean? You basically saw him? How do I even say this in the way that'll make sense? I didn't see him in the physical sense, if that's what you're trying to say. Like, no. It's a long story, Jace. Everyone in the group chat knows they call me, as they should. Good. That's what you deserve. Good. But back to you. It's not a physical thing. It's the first time I perceived God for who he was. In fact, it's the first time I really understood what God is, which is spirit. The reason people have a block between themselves and God and can't perceive God correctly is because they're trying to use their physical senses to understand the spiritual being. It's not going to work. You have to understand, we live in a 3D world, and we have these 5 senses that help us to perceive the 3D world better. But if you want to perceive a being that exists in a higher dimension, you're going to have to use more than these. Right? It's like, I was having a conversation with my girl very recently about this. Like, she asked, where does God come from? Like, everything is created from something. So who created God? And I told her that's a very 3D question. Right? In the 3D realm, everything comes from something. So of course it makes sense to ask, where does this creation come from? Because everything is curated from something. But in the higher realms of existence, 4D, 5D, 6D, or where God exists, which is 7D, everything comes from nothing, essentially. So asking why a 3D rule doesn't apply to a 7D being is fundamentally stupid. Does that make sense? I hope I don't sound too crazy. I know I sound all woo-woo when I talk like this, but I'm, again, just to try to set the tone for you how to perceive these things. But yeah, it just, I kind of accidentally opened, well, I wouldn't say it was too much of an accident, but because I was so deprived of physical gratification at the time, I accidentally opened up the portal. The third eye, as some people call it, right? It's an eye, sure, but it's really more a portal. It's a gate that helps you perceive into the other realms of existence and begin to understand concepts that might sound crazy, right? Like, again, 3D realm. everything exists in a cube-like form. There's up, down, sideways, center. There's left, right, front, back. There's yesterday, today, tomorrow, length, width, height, hot, cold, warm. In the higher realms, those separations don't exist. Everything is in this very moment. And English is not sufficient enough to to describe what I'm trying to. Anyway, I'm going too far. Basically, I did it by accident one day. My life changed ever since. I had people swear, people that know me swear that my IQ seemed to have gone up significantly, but it really wasn't IQ. They perceived it as IQ going up, as in getting smarter, but it wasn't getting smarter. It was becoming more aware of what I was and what it is I'm here for, if that makes sense. Anyway, back to the questions. I don't understand atheists. They believe there is nothing after death and act like life is a normal occurrence. You can't blame people that live in the intellectual and don't perceive the spiritual. They'll eventually see it, either in this life, in this particular plane of existence, or the next. But they'll figure it out at some point. How would a 3D being try to understand or perceive higher dimensions? There's a few ways to do it. The hard brute force way to do it is the way I did it first time, by accident, which is deprive yourself of physical gratification for a long period of time. If you shut the senses of this realm, you open the senses of the others. It's kind of like how if you go blind, your other senses of perception kind of increase rapidly. They get better. Blind people can hear everything from a mile away. And they can smell even the faintest of smells, right? The same kind of thing applies, but if you block all the senses here, the other senses that perceive the other realms correctly open up. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is the use of psychedelics, which I haven't explored myself, so I can't even really give you guys advice on that. I was creating psychedelic experiences for myself by the time I was age 18, 19 without actually using any drugs. I still haven't indulged in drug use at all. Never once. I've never even been drunk. Does that make sense? So that's another way to do it. You can also use deep meditation. I would say it's the second hardest way because a lot of people just lack that ability to concentrate on one thing for a long period of time, much less completely empty their minds. Right? If you have an attention span that is shot to hell, that's probably not going to be the way to go for you. I'm going to be honest. You're probably not going to have a good time with that. And then another way is, you can have a visitor. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go. You're getting me to talk about stuff that a lot of people just will not comprehend. But there's several ways. I mentioned essentially the most popular ways to do it. So those information what you must. Let's see. To be honest, I don't want to talk to other guys at the gym. Other guys? Why? Why don't you want to talk to other guys at the gym? Don't you have guys you exchange, workout routine with, or, supplementation advice, or, dieting advice? Don't you know how to make friends at all? Go and read the book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. That's a good start right there. If you don't know how to make friends, how to win friends and influence people. And then you should be able to loosen up, talk to guys at the gym, because you need those guys to think you're cool. It's important. Not in I have to prove myself to them type of way, but it's cool if you go to the gym with people that have mutual respect for you, because then the women will perceive it. And then that makes it way easier for you to get the women on your side. Women are attracted to leaders of men. It's always been like that. It's biology. It's evolutionary psychology. So you need those guys to see you as a leader so that she can see you as one too. What's up, Oscar? How you doing? It's been a while I've seen you. What's going on, El Ross? How you doing, buddy? But isn't it weird that we exist in the first place? No, not really. It's not weird at all. Again, if you see it from a 3D point of view, it's a very weird and unlikely thing that we exist. If you look at it from a 4, 5, or 6D point of view, not only does it make sense that we exist, but it's kind of necessary. It's necessary that we came to being. very necessary. But, you know, I digress. Hey, Q Ball, what's going on? A girl I'm talking to is in my town. Sorry, that was my bad. For a week, how do I set up the meetup? You tell her, you ask her to give you her schedule for when she's free, and you set up something immediately. I'm assuming this is a girl you've been talking to for a while, because it would be kind of weird to, you know, talk to a girl you haven't been talking to that happens to be in your town. If this is a girl you have been talking to, like, hey, you're in my town, you're in my city, I'm free on these days. Let's meet up. Let's do something. Take her out to like Chipotle or something. Let's see. How do I make a comeback? I don't know what you're trying to come back from, but all comebacks kind of look the same. The first thing you got to do is build your confidence. You have to believe you can come back. First thing, self-belief. I have an entire free course that discusses that. Second thing, you have to begin to do things that give you small wins. A comeback is essentially a giant W. What people don't think about is you can't get the giant W's if you don't get all the tiny small ones. In fact, if you really think about it, the big W's are just a collection of all the small W's you've collected over time. So you got to start doing something on a daily basis that gives you a small sense of victory every day. May I suggest starting with something like game or your body, preferably both. A lot of people like to start with their body, which is very, very controllable. So I like that too. Hit the gym, learn a martial arts, something that gets you moving. Give yourself an instruction and then watch yourself follow through with it. That'll help you not only create discipline for yourself, but earn your own respect back. You fell off because others lost respect for you, and as a result, you lost respect for you. Or even the other way around sometimes, right? So you have to begin to do things to earn your own respect back. Small, tiny victories. Tell yourself you're not going to eat that particular item or of food, and then watch yourself follow through on that. Tell yourself you're going to do this certain number of push-ups or sit-ups or jumping jacks or lifts or raises, whatever. Thrusts, right? Tell yourself you're going to approach this many people, whether you get rejected or not, and watch yourself do it despite how fearful or anxious you are. All these tiny wins build up into massive W's, man. That's how you come back. That's essentially the science of a comeback. He gave her last-minute resistance. Oh, okay, that's good context. Okay, what was the last-minute resistance she gave her? Let me know. Must say I love the way you made this video weeks ago about K-Dot and Drake. Hey, when you know what you know what you know, you know what you know what you know. People ask me all the time, why do you sound so arrogant and egotistic? Well, if you know how to do what I can do, if you know the shit I know, and you can accurately predict the future, then you'll sound like me. I'm just a child of God, and if the child of a goat is a goat, and the child of a dog is a puppy, and the child of a cow is a cow, then what is a child of God? Right? A God? So when God said, let there be light, and there was light, why can't I say, let there be this and there's that? It's just, I understand how God did it, though, is the point. And that's why I'm teaching you guys. I'm trying to teach you guys, like, you too can be gods at this shit. I'm a god in game, essentially. And you're seeing it in real life right now. You're seeing it. I called it. There you go. I'm just trying to teach you guys how to be on this level. It's very fun. And it's not that hard to do either. I promise you. It requires you to understand a few things and make a few tough sacrifices, but once you're done, you're here forever and you can never go back. It's a long story, Jace. Everyone in the group chat knows they already read that. That's true. But yeah, you might not deserve that. Let me know what happened though. Let me get the details of it. Literally came looking for your take after all this. Appreciate you. Oh, well, now you know it. How late is we, gang? Not too late. I just got here, Enzo. You're fine. Hey, what's going on, Yoda? How you doing? Saw the best offer movie. My guess is the engineer was the mastermind. Don't spoil it! Don't spoil it for people that haven't seen it. But yes, essentially yes. Well, not the engineer. The guy, the old man in the beginning that was helping him get all those paintings under the table. That guy. That's the guy. That's the real. Everybody else was a pawn. That's the real mastermind. Can you go over your DM or an IG? Oh yeah, I will. I got you. How would a 3D already answer that one? Jace, how we doing? How long you been live? Got some questions for you today, my boy. I got you, man. I just got here, like, what, 10 minutes ago, guys? Oh, and thanks for all the likes so far. We're already at 1K likes. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Oh, there you go. Elros is like, let's like the live, guys. I appreciate that. Would you recommend be the one that is talking 20% the relationship with her being 80%? Well, talking is a weird thing. Like, it's not like you should be silent 80% of the time. Does that make sense? I wouldn't gauge the success of your relationship by how often each person is talking. That's not how you should be doing it. It should be more like, think about it like this. You're going to have opportunities to learn. You're going to have opportunities to teach. And so will she. It'll be the other way around as well. So if you look at it from that point of view, it becomes very clear on how often you should be talking. You should be talking only as often as you have value to give. And you should be talking most of the time when you're talking. That's essentially what's going to be happening. Your girl should feel like every time she listens to you talk, there's something new she learns, or she has a good time, she's excited by you, or she's learned something new. Right? Essentially, that's essentially what you should be doing. It should be a mind-opening experience for her every time she's around you. Don't think about it like, oh, I should be talking this number of times. Like, no. There's many successful relationships out there where the guy is literally talking 100% of the time, and the woman is just completely silent all the time. But the woman is completely obsessed with him because of precisely that. He does all the work in the terms of talking, but she's getting more emotionally invested in him because he keeps saying things that she's never heard before from other people. Right? This is such a terrible example I'm going to use. Well, not terrible example in terms of like what I'm talking about, but terrible example in terms of like the person he is. But if you guys have heard of Eligio Bishop, Nature Boy, perfect example. Whenever you saw his videos and with all his women, he was talking all the time. Literally every time he was talking to these women, just teaching them stuff, making them learn new stuff, commanding them, directing them, straight up bullying them sometimes. But he was always talking. You see how that works? That's kind of the point. Don't worry too much about how often you're doing it. What's your skincare routine? You're glowing, no diddy. Everyone always says that. Appreciate you, boy. Appreciate you. But yeah, my skincare is very simple. I take a shower every day, or at least I try to. Like, I really go out of my way to take showers. Like, showers are important. I realize, especially here in the first world, a lot of people underestimate showers. And by the way, since we're talking about showers, and this is something someone talked to me about 2 days ago, because I said take showers, and then they told me how they take showers, and I was like, no, not like that. So this is how I take showers. I'm an African man. I grew up in Nigeria. We have these thick net African sponges, like loofers, as you guys call it here. And they're great because you can stretch them out and use them on your back, but also they're tough. They're great on your skin. So you soap and lather that up, and you scrub every inch of your body with it. And then you have a separate one for your face, right? I feel like I have to say that because I just assume everyone already does that, and that's my bad. Sorry about that. Lather yourself up and scrub yourself thoroughly, every part of your body. But just make sure the one you use on your face is different from the one you use on your body. Very important. You don't want to transfer particles and fecal matter up to your face, obviously. That's one. Two, before you even start scrubbing, make sure you rinse yourself off of water in general, right? Three, when you get out of the shower, the very first thing you do after drying yourself off with a towel is lotion your skin. Lotion your skin. I don't even care what lotion you use, honestly. It can be Dove, it can be Jergens, Lubriderm, Aveeno. Hell, I know someone that uses the Johnson & Johnson baby lotion. I'm not even kidding. And honestly, his skin is really soft, so shout out to him. But literally use any lotion. You must protect your skin at all costs. You must listen, here's a new rule. Shower every day before you leave the house. Make sure your skin is protected before you leave the house. I'm not even talking about sunscreen. Well, you can use sunscreen if you want. But just make sure you have a coat of some kind of moisturizer or oil on your skin. Make sure. Like, you see how there's like a slight taint of oil on my cheekbones? That's how you should be every fucking day. Every day. Okay? Alright. That should give you a good idea of what my skincare routine is like. Yes, Jay's top, man. How you doing, brother? How you doing? And your name is brother too, which is interesting. When a girl downloads a pregnancy app to see how would she look, is that a bad sign? Oh no, that's a great sign. That she's telling you through her actions she wants to carry your children. It can never be a bad thing. That's just, the feminine way of saying I'm completely and totally invested in you and I'm willing to carry your children to term. It's not a bad thing. Shower only when going to events. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Don't do that. Shower every day. Like, y'all can't be out here leaving the house and being musty. I don't know about you guys, but if I've sweat throughout the day, I'm showering. And I sweat every day. And that's kind of the point. Right? Because I always work out. So I'm showering. Most days, honestly, I'm showering twice because I'm working out twice a day, at least 3 or 4 times a week. Right? So I'm doing weight training, and then I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I'm sweating all the fucking time. So I'm definitely going to shower a lot. Right? Cold showers are cool too, by the way. Take advantage of those. And, make sure your deodorant. Listen. Always use deodorant. And here's a small trick. You can use it on your pubes too if you want. Depending on the one you're using, obviously. You might not want to use it with all of them. But anywhere there's like a collection of hair that's hidden from the public, your armpits, your pubes, go ahead and live that shit up with some deodorant. I'm not even kidding. I don't like lotion while still being a little wet. The lotion won't work that well. Then that's why you dry yourself off completely. Y'all hear what I just said? Dry yourself off completely with a towel. You should be looking dry and pasty as fuck. Right? If you're black especially, you should be looking like completely ashy head to toe. Then lotion yourself. Lotion. And apply a generous amount, by the way. Don't just like a little bit. Like, if all of your body doesn't feel slick, you haven't done it correctly. Like, you see how oily my face is right now. Like, that's a good squirt on my hand, rub, and then everywhere. Behind my ears as well, my actual ears. Underneath my neck, my beard. Like, I literally lotion every part of my body. Pause. Yes, even there too. What? This is just as beautiful as this, and there's a reason for that. Lotion. Not even kidding. Sound effect on point. My body all over your body. Alright, chill. I'm gonna pause now. Pause. My bad. Anyway, let's see. Was on a date last night, teased, flirted, and everything. We good, but at some point, I felt she was tired with it. I told her I didn't believe she could cook, even when she showed me. Okay, why did you? I mean, it's cool to tease on top of teasing, but you gotta give them some leeway. You gotta give them some validation here and there. Just, again, women are chasing you for your validation. If you don't give them validation at all, they have no reason to chase you. It's the possibility of getting a greater level of validation that makes them keep chasing you. So when she tells you something about herself that's genuinely impressive, it's okay to be impressed. It's okay, but it has to be genuinely impressive though, right? Oh, I can cook. Oh, really? I don't believe you. Show me. And then she shows you, like, oh, damn, you can actually cook. That's wonderful. Beautiful. I like that. See, I like you a little more now. I thought you were annoying before, but now that I know you can cook, I'll forgive you. That's how you move, right? So make sure you give them some leeway so that they can feel like they're making progress with you. If they feel like they can't get you, they give up easy, man. Women give up very easily. Bro, what's going on, Profilo? Bonsoir. Good evening, bonsoir. Almost bon après-midi at this point, honestly. Talk about The Visitor, or send us a book recommendation on it, please. God has his favorites. It's true. God loves everyone, but God likes a select few. And to those select few, he will give a few special things, right? A special star over their heads when they're born. And yes, every human being is born with a star, which that in itself already sounds crazy, but just go with me, right? A special star as an impartation with special kind of energy, and then a special helper, if you will. So the Christians will call them an angel, and the Muslims call them jinns. But some people have their own helpers, but that helper is not a physical one, and that helper doesn't reveal himself until he enters the physical plane in some way, shape, or form. And that is what is called visiting. Does that make sense? I'm still being a little vague. I realize that. I apologize. Some things are weird to talk about, but I will give you something to, like, if you really want to know more about stuff like this. The best way is do your own research. Because here's the thing. I don't want to give you any specific book so you don't think I'm giving you an agenda to follow, right? I'm a Christian man at the end of the day, so I do kind of have my own agenda. With that said, though, I will tell you, do your own research. And what I know from my life, and I can prove this on many different occasions in my own life, when the student is ready, the master will appear. That is always going to be true. If what you seek is something that is truly like a desire of your heart, you will find it. I promise you. It might be hard, it might not be direct, but you'll find it. How to know your star. I would say look into meditation, but purposeful meditation. The first step to meditation is what is usually taught in, like, yoga and all that kind of stuff, is like emptying your mind and not allowing outside thoughts to infiltrate. But real meditation goes into the second level, which is hyperfixation on one idea. Real meditation, good meditation, isn't just emptying your mind. Emptying your mind is the first step. The next step is hyperfixation. If you hyperfixate on the answer to a question, that answer will find a way to reveal itself to you. That's as much as I can say. Let's see. What happened when people noticed your IQ was getting higher? Sorry, could you repeat that? Let's see. What happened when people noticed your IQ was getting higher? Sorry, could you repeat that? Most people would, if they were to ask them, they would say, oh, he got arrogant, he got cocky, he got this, he got that. He became a little too full of himself. But really what it was is just a higher understanding. And there's no way to talk about your awareness without sounding cocky to the 3D mind. So it makes sense. I'm not mad at those people for thinking that. So you lose a lot of friends. It becomes a little lonelier. Yeah. How do you figure out what your purpose or calling in life is? I don't know what your own particular purpose would be. And it'll probably have something to do with whatever skills you have now, or whatever skills you have an affinity for learning. But no matter what your purpose is, and this is very important to remember, no matter what your purpose in life is, it's gonna have something to do with serving humankind. I promise you. Any purpose that is outside of serving your fellow man is not a purpose. It is some kind of egomaniacal trip. It is some kind of selfish endeavor. It is something that is a waste of time for your own personal gratification. All true purpose in life is to find a way to give people something, maybe a service, a product, an experience, a primal instinct that is unique, that they've never experienced before, right? Maybe even a convenience. So your purpose is going to be wrapped around other people, for sure. Your purpose is other people, essentially. We as human beings are a collaborative, cooperative species. So everything that we are and everything that is around us comes from other people. It is other people's sacrifices that we can even have this ability to communicate over long distances. And I can sit in this car and we can communicate so effectively in this language. Does that make sense? It's how it is. Your purpose is going to have something to do with other people. So if you really want to find your purpose, first ask yourself, how can I serve others? That's how you do it. Did you get a visitor? Yes. I guess it can't hurt me to say that at least. Let's see. What's the topic? Anything you want at this point, Marcy. We're just freestyling. Pics. And she went, I don't need to prove anything, in a very angry way. Did I go too far? Still proceeded to kiss afterwards, by the way. I wouldn't worry too much. You got a bit of compliance afterwards, so you're fine. You got a kiss, you're fine. Don't worry about any compliance you didn't get if you got higher levels of compliance. It's like complaining about a girl not giving you her number, but then agreeing to go home with you. What are you complaining for? You got the higher levels of compliance. You're fine. Bro, how to balance being funny guy, but same time able to be mean. Solution to be funny, but when needed, destroy them. You're seeing it as two different things, first of all. You can be funny and destructive at the same time. Like, in fact, some of the best ways to destroy people is humor. So, don't see them as two different things. That's one. Two, what you're really asking me is how to know when to go from serious to playful. And my general advice with that is always lean on the side of playful. Life is easier when you're not taking it too seriously. But you'll know to take things seriously when your reputation, your character, or your conduct are on the line. When people come at who you are and what it is you stand for, then you'll know to show some teeth. It should be natural for you. Are you talking about The Visitor by Lee Child? That's a good book. It's a great book. But no, I am not. Not necessarily. Let's see. Solution. Oh, there we go. Have you seen the TV show Power? How would you rate Ghost Game? And is he a protector or provider? I literally saw one episode of Power years ago, and I got distracted by the girl that I was with. That's just my way of saying, like, we, like, turned each other on and started, doing our thing while it was playing, and we just never got back to it. There's a lot of shows I've missed out on like that. I still haven't seen past the 7th episode of not Prison Break. I saw all of Prison Break, of Breaking Bad. And I saw 3 episodes of The Walking Dead. I saw 2 episodes of My Name is Earl. And it just keeps happening like that, Jinn are not necessarily helpers. They have free will like we do. And they're a good jinn, but fair enough. What does jinn mean? Isn't jinn just a word for otherworldly being, like spirit? Most aren't inclined to help humans. Interesting. Fair enough. That's an interesting way to look. Okay, let me tell you how it actually works. All spiritual beings exist in a realm above the physical realm. So they look at human beings. Okay, let's start with this. Humans are essentially spirit. What we are as human is spirit. But in order to exist in this physical realm and to interact with it the way we do, as physically and as tangibly as we do, we have to be trapped in this meat suit that we call a body. So the human being is a spirit, but it is a spirit that possesses a body. Does that make sense? When you hear about spiritual or demonic possessions, what you're really hearing about is other spirits juxtaposing on top of the spirit that is already in the human. Because there's no such thing as a body with no spirit. A body with no spirit is dead. You see how that works? So, going back to the whole jinn thing. Yes, they are beings, otherworldly beings, that may or may not have interest in human beings or not. But I promise you, they see human beings and the human body, essentially, and the ability to control one, as a hot commodity. Because being able to control the physical and what happens here is one of the most important tasks they have. So they're constantly looking for ways to influence the physical. If that makes sense. The physical is a delayed mirror of the spiritual world. Right? But if you know how to work it, you can use the physical to influence the spiritual. And so that ability is something that all spirits, good or bad, seek after tremendously. Like, they're obsessed with it. So don't go around thinking like, oh, there's just spirits, like some of them are interested, some of them are not. Not necessarily. The human body is like a gold mine. Essentially. Human action, specifically, is very valuable to spirits. But that's a different story for another day. Let's see. Why do you think the academics don't believe in God or spiritual things? Is it because they're too involved in the materialistic world? Essentially. The irony to it, though, is if they studied the materialistic world long enough and well enough, they will see evidence that it's controlled by another world. That's the irony to it. So a lot of them don't believe in the spiritual world because they're not that good at academics as they think they are. Because if they were, they would very quickly see, oh yeah, this whole thing is controlled by something else. Jinn are created by fire, similar to humans. Black and Mun. Jinns are mostly not good. I see. Interesting. So are jinns essentially what Christians call demons? And fire is an interesting way to put it. Yeah. Not physical fire, but I guess I know what you mean when you say that. Let's see. Expand on no. What do you do when she resists your flirting during a date? Do you call down and try again later? Resist your flirting during a date? Indicate disinterest first. Because why is she indicating disinterest on the date? I might even just cut it short there. What happened before the date? The real problem is you didn't set the frame correctly before you went on that date. That's the real problem. Something is happening with the frame you've set before the date. Because a girl shouldn't show up on a date uninterested in you. That doesn't make sense. They're not demons. They have free will. So do demons, by the way. Fun fact, Iblis is a jinn. You Christians call him a fallen angel. Oh, I see. Interesting. So demons. That's essentially what demons are. They're beings that were casted down from heaven during the Great War of OO, as I call it. But yeah, the Great Recreation War happened, and a bunch of them got casted down and possessed human bodies and began to take on human wives for themselves. And that's how we get, the Nephilim and all that stuff. But yeah, interesting. I might have to look into how you guys view like spiritual beings and jinns and stuff in the Islamic faith. Let's see. How did God do it? And also, how can we make it? These are the things I'm very careful to speak on because, I'm never beating the crazy or insane allegations. I'm never beating those. People are going to call me crazy till I leave this earth, but you're asking me questions I really shouldn't be answering. Well said. I don't do sex with any random girl. That was good, by the way, but I lead my emotions control me. You let them control you. Is that what you meant to say? Oh my God, really no way. The Best Offer was a good movie. Great movie. I think you switched up on J. Cole by calling it a tactical retreat. Switched up how? I didn't switch up on him. I still said, even in that moment, before I called it a tactical retreat, I said I still think what he did was pussy. Didn't I say that? I'm very consistent about what I say. I said I still think what he did was pussy. Should have gone out on the shield. But I can appreciate a good tactical retreat. Those are my exact words in the video, right? I can appreciate it. Like, it's clever. It lacks courage. It lacks balls. But it's clever. You can appreciate intelligence and still despise cowardice. Because a lot of people like to mask their cowardice in intelligence. And that's what J. Cole did. Let's see. She made me angry by saying she doesn't either. So I called her a bop, but managed to recover. Interesting. Is it wrong to manipulate the girl for her own good with the fear that you might expose pictures or videos? Again, only to get her to do what's in her own best interest. No. You're talking about using evil to create good. And there are some situations where that works. That is a good thing, essentially, because of the ultimate end goal. But I'll tell you why doing that in particular is bad. Because at that point, that's not for her own good. You cannot convince me that you'd be willing to threaten a girl to expose her like naked pictures and videos for her own good. How? That is not for her own good. That is your sophistry speaking. That is your sophistry speaking, and you're trying to convince yourself that it's for her own good that you're being that way. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is foul. Besides, if you have to resort to that to control a girl, that already tells me you're not as good as you think you are. Because that means she wants away from you. She does not like you. She hates your guts. And now you're resorting to, oh, I'm gonna threaten to expose your nudes. You're not a good person. Trust me. Her being with you is not for her own good. I know it's not. I promise you it's not. If I knew you personally, I'd call the cops, son. The fuck? Hell no. Terrible. Don't do that. We got to her place and made her qualify, and then we started kissing, and then my avatar mode went. Avatar mode, interesting. Bro, please remember to do the POV 101 date and also provider protector questions. Fair enough, I got you. I'll probably just like take you guys on a date when I'm live one of these days. So just so you can see what it's like to be me on a date. Let's see. Kendrick's last track had Hail Mary energy. No, it didn't. He responded like literally minutes after the other one. That's called a tactical dissemination of your opponent. If you can counter your opponent that quickly, especially in something like rap where it's supposed to take time to come up with replies, it's genius shit. He did it. He destroyed him. So which of the 48 laws of power genuinely improve your game, Unk? Unk is crazy. All of them. I mean, let's put it like this. The 48 laws of power are pretty amazing. And a few of them really help you with your game. But you have to remember, not all of them will make you look like a solid protector type or provider type. Some of those tactics in there are for provider types, for sure. So be careful with those. Okay? Drake should rest. I think he should too. If he tries, I mean, he's gonna try. Poor guy. If he tries to take it further, he's gonna get ethered. But, you know. Bro, how the F are you almost 30? Damn, do you feel old? No, not even a little bit. Like, if I live to be 100, I'm literally barely at 30% of my life. Is that old to you? Nah. But, on top of that, no, I don't feel old. I actually feel, like, on a physical level, if that's what you're talking about, I literally feel stronger. And almost a little faster, which is kind of weird. But, I mean, I've always kept myself very well, man. I've always done everything in my power to make sure that my body is in tip-top condition. So, yeah, I feel amazing. I really do. I mean, I feel sore, obviously, because I train too fucking much. But I feel fucking amazing. I feel capable, which is very important. Can you ask other questions about protective providers, like three of the what, so we can answer? I don't know what three of the, but yeah, go ahead. And ask away. A lot of rappers say I'm different, but Kendrick is a different type of different. Indeed, he's very special, and he's very crazy. Don't bet against crazy, guys. Yeah. How do you be the only one to teach her many things? Does it matter what topics? Oh yeah, like anything you learn, you teach. So learn a lot. You feel me? You feel me? The faced one is soft cloth. I mean, yeah, if you want to be a pussy about it, use a sponge. Use a softer loafer. A softer sponge should be good. Because you don't want, like, you have to smoothen your face. You have to scrub your face thoroughly. So use something that actually will scrub it. Face cloth. What are you, a girl? Stop it. That means every time I talk to her, I need new information and experience. So I need to learn every day. Now you're getting it. See? Good. You have to be an advancing man. You have to be an advancing man. And trust me, it's not hard to be that kind of man. It's not hard. It really isn't. A lot of people are just lazy about how they approach life. Being an advancing man that teaches your girl something new every time you're with her, easy. Easy. Let's see. Already answered that. What if a girl says, I'm not the kind of girl who says yes to everything? That's what every girl says. That's when you say, that's fine, you'll be happy saying yes to me. You'll enjoy saying yes to me. You'll feel good when you say yes to everything I say. That's what you say. Brother, you got a reason to train that much? Probably not for girls. Haha. No, not for girls. But yeah, for me. For me. Literally for me. I think of myself as a man that is truly advancing and improving in everything in his life. So why wouldn't I train that way? I feel like every man should train like an athlete. I really do. I think a lot of you are lazy and don't know it, even though you go to the gym all the time. Oh, I go to the gym 4 times a day. Why not every day? Oh, I do this workout in this many sets. Okay, why can't you do cardio as well? Why can't you put some kickboxing in there, some jiu-jitsu, like something? Make yourself more capable, not just bigger. Right? Make yourself more capable. Jace. Oh, hey, Ryu. What's going on? I just went on a date with my Latina girl. Went perfect, 9.5 out of 10. That's very good. Well done. Brother, you got to... Okay, answer that one. Does the validation you have to be compliments... Oh, does the validation itself have to be compliments? Compliments is just one of the easiest, most convenient ways to give validation. So, yeah, use compliments sparingly. Wait, so do you believe that star is a certain talent that everyone is born with? Not necessarily a talent. More like a gift. Gifts and talents are a little different. Let's see. What's the topic? Anything so far? I do gotta go soon though, guys. How do you figure out what you're already answered that one? Live got deep today. You might have to expand the subject matters you teach. Thanks for answering. No problem, man. No problem. How can I control my overthinking? By picking one thought and focusing on that. You overthink because you allow your thoughts to get out of control. So pick one, focus on that. Literally, just be purposeful about what thoughts you're thinking. And if you feel yourself thinking something else you shouldn't be thinking, bring yourself back to the previous thought. It requires a little bit of discipline. Bro, was your visitor a tough lesson? Tough? No, not tough. It was actually kind of warm and pleasant and beautiful. Alright, I didn't even read that one. You should really watch Power. Alright, I probably will. Who cares? Who knows? I mean, not who cares. I gotta go to a few shows to get through though, but you know. Can you explain why witchcraft seemed to work in Africa? Heard and witnessed it so many stories, but it's hard to believe. Is there a rational explanation, like some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy? Witchcraft works everywhere. There's witchcraft here in America too. It's just America has a better propaganda machine. So the people that see witchcraft here don't realize what they're looking at is witchcraft. Right? But it is witchcraft. Witchcraft isn't always like amazing signs and wonders. Sometimes it's infiltrating the minds of others in a very effective way. Right? You see witchcraft every time you open TikTok. You do. You do. You just don't realize what you're looking at is witchcraft, but it is. It's mind control. Right? So, America has done a good job at making sure people don't know what the real definition of witchcraft is. That's really what it is. But yeah, witchcraft is everywhere, dude. It's not special to Africa at all. In fact, in America, witchcraft is more organized. That's what we have the occult for. But I digress. The only way to get help from a jinn is black magic. Yep, sounds like demons to me. It's hard to believe. Oh, I didn't answer that one. Yes, you're correct, but they're only demons when they're evil. Very few are not. I see. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but okay. They're not demons. They have free will. So, the fact that demons don't have free will is a lie, by the way. Perpetrated by demons themselves. Demons themselves will deceive you into thinking they don't have free will. But they do. They do. They do. Now, their free will is not the same brand we have as human beings. They cannot change their purpose or their mission. But in terms of getting to that purpose or mission, yeah, they're free to do whatever they want, essentially. They go about doing things a little differently, that's all. You're right about wanting to experience our world through our eyes, a form of voyeurism, but not all jinns are interested in that. You'd be surprised. Drake and K. Dot showed up. Great battle. Indeed. It is fun to watch, regardless of what side you're on. What realization does academic people come to when concluding there is a God? It usually comes down to realizing that their brains can only take them that far. Like, so far. When they run out of intellectualism, then they realize the only logical explanation from there is some kind of higher frequency existence, which is essentially what the spiritual realm is. Shaitan used to be a believer. Oh, he still is. If you don't think Satan believes in God, he does. It's just he's really good at getting people to not believe in God too. How you doing, bro? Hey, what's going on, Kay? How you doing, man? When you fail to set the frame or change negatively, what do? Brute force. You reset the frame as brutally as you can. And as quickly as you can. Don't fall into her frame anymore. Like, you say something that like aggressively changes the tone of the conversation so that you become the one on top. They like to say we're in a virtual reality. Essentially. Like, spiritual beings use physical bodies as like a video game avatar to play this realm of existence. That's essentially what's going on. The only way to get help from jinns is through shady ways, so saying visitors won't look good. Just looking after you, Jace. Nothing shady about my visitor. Absolutely nothing shady. And again, you gotta understand, there are good spirit and there's fallen spirit. The good spirit is essentially what people call angels, right? And there's fallen spirit, which is what people call demons. And they both have very different purpose. And you'll know which one you're dealing with depending on what you feel around them and what they tell you to do. That's simple. Right? You'll know the difference. And it's literally like night and day. It's black and white. Meek should jump in the K. Dot versus Drake beef. What for? No one will take him seriously. That's the guy that's getting diddy bopped, right? Can you imprint a girl without sleeping with her? Nope. No, you can't. It requires too much of an emotional impact that you need sex to create. He was Diddy's boy toy. Exactly. Who the hell wants to see that? Does pointing out that she exposes herself a lot on her Insta a way to make her qualify herself? Yes, but when you already have established psychological positioning over her, like, you have to be her boyfriend for at least 6 months to be able to start calling that shit out if you want to. Up until then, you shouldn't care. And honestly, even at that point, it depends on how much she's exposing herself. You probably still wouldn't care either, because she'll naturally stop doing all that stuff when you're in her life anyway. She was doing that to get the attention of a man like you. Not that she has you. What's she doing that for? Maybe getting game involves being knowledgeable and intellectual. Don't chase the butterflies, but build a garden. Just saying. I don't get it. I don't see what you're disagreeing with me on there. Don't chase the butterflies, but build a garden is actually a very good concept, because that's exactly what I teach all the time. I literally always say that. It should be the other way around. It should be her chasing you. And it should be you putting your value out there as a carrot on a stick to make them chase it. So yeah, you're saying it like you're disagreeing with me somehow, but that's literally what I say all the time. His career is done. Who, Drake's? Yeah, it's looking like if the authorities get involved, like Kendrick was saying, and he gets like investigated and arrested, it's done. He's light skinned Diddy. It's done. That's, you know, that's jail time for you, son. Indeed. For that guy that was like trying to expose his girl and stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Is that you? Is that the same guy that's talking about game and butterflies and shit? Hold on, let me scroll up. Let me go see. It better not be. I swear to God, it better not be. Okay, it's not the same guy. All right. Same color profile stuff, but not the same guy. Anyway. Where was I? Sorry, I gotta scroll back, guys. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. It's not even manipulation because people would think you are not leading to a better place. Exactly. Where's your auntie? Cause at, Where's your auntie at? Cause I want to talk to the man of the house. That's funny. Is the law never to outshine the master more for protectors or providers? It's for everybody. It is for everybody. Do not outshine the master. Do not have an ego greater than the person teaching you. That's a stupid thing to do. Because then they won't teach you shit. Now that I think about it, you were 14 when I wasn't even born yet. Fair enough. Got my age, how do I navigate? Your age what? What happened to your age? How do you imprint a girl? I made an entire video about it on my YouTube. Imprinting 101. Go check it out. Is Kendrick a full protector type, or does he still have some provider in him? Oh, he has a provider. I mean, that part in his last diss track, his not the last one, Euphoria, where he was talking about how he's a better father than Drake. Provider type energy right there. If you guys want to see what that looks like. That's how a protector demonstrates provider type energy. Like, I'll go to war with you whenever I want. But, hey, don't forget, I'm a better father than you. I stay in my kid's life now. I don't deny my children. Provider type energy. He's a protector with the willingness to provide. Let's see. Gonna take a while before he answers down here. Yeah, it is. What if a girl says Drake better than Kendrick? It's just a girl. You can forgive her for saying that. I was talking about something like this last night with my girl too, by the way. And most girls are of the same kind of opinion. Drake's music is more enjoyable because they're club hits, which makes sense. But that kind of takes away from what hip hop is, you know. If you're a hip hop head like me, and you appreciate the skill and the art of rapping and how difficult it is to tell stories in that form, then you're not going to appreciate a song just because it sounds good. You're going to appreciate it because of the complexity of it, you know? And that's what Kendrick represents. Jace, I just went on a date. Oh, yeah, answer that. And congratulations again. I need to get her to move out of her abusive parents' house and get her own place. Okay. Interesting. Does she love you more than her parents? Any reason why you chose jiu-jitsu over boxing or Muay Thai? I did kickboxing for years. It was just like, I know a lot of striking stuff. It's time to learn some ground game. That was the mindset for me. But if I had to start all over again, I would probably just start with, you know, something like boxing or wrestling. And if I don't have access to that, then jiu-jitsu or kickboxing. Muay Thai is pretty good too. It's just Muay Thai makes you really stiff for wrestling. That's the only thing with it. It's kind of hard to transition from that to ground game stuff. What kind of things do you say to make her think she's lucky to be in your presence? I say she's lucky to be in my presence. Literally. I literally say that. I say, you know, you would have been in a worse place if I didn't come into your life. Look how much happier and in love you are now that you're here with me. I say things like that all the time. All the time. She had to leave sooner. That's fair. Do you think you need to go super protector archetype for a few months in order to later calibrate? I feel like for most people, yes. To go from provider, you're gonna have to overcompensate to protector a lot. And then maybe not for a few months. Like, it only takes one moment, really. One massive risk, and then boom, like, you're changed forever. Right? One massive risk that you're scared to take, and you take that risk and you realize, oh, okay, I didn't die. And then from then on, you're kind of like, so you kind of go off the rails at that point and go a little too far anyway, right? Whether you wanted to or not, because it's kind of addicting. A provider finding out the power of a protector and what it means to be a protector, yeah, like most of the time they abuse the power because it's power they've never interacted with before, right? So it's just kind of how it's gonna happen like that regardless. Bro, I made her stay with me without even saying anything. She couldn't keep herself off me. Had to go to her friend's birthday party. Next link I can easily do her. Good. Thanks for answering the overthinking question. No problem, man. By the way, did you watch Costume of the Elite new season? Yes. I don't know if I've caught up on all the episodes. Last episode I stopped at Ayana Koji and Class D in general got screwed over in that chess game with Class A, I believe, right? That was where I stopped. I'm pretty sure there's another episode or two after that. I gotta go watch those. Drake, get up! Yeah, indeed. Ryu gets the date of the month. Date of the month? Really? Interesting. I didn't even know we were handing out awards like that. That's cool. How to make more friends, not girls. Go up to them and be like, yo, we're friends now. The best thing about being dudes is that we make friends so easily. So literally you'll go up to a guy like, hey, we're friends now. And then we're like, man, what's your name? Literally, dudes make friends like that all the time. Or just go read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a very good book. Many even better ones to come. Amen. My date where the father appeared is worst of the month. Nah, it's Asami's. Asami's is worst of the month. Asami is definitely the worst date of the month. L. Leading W, sex appeal, very good. Is the best way to go. Absolutely. Now you're getting it. Can you really become a protector type of your if your nature, yeah, that's what I think you meant to say, is soft and kind? Yes. Like you can be a protector type and still be kind. There's nothing wrong with being kind as a protector type. Like most protector types with the willingness to provide they have a soft and kind side to them, you know? But it's becoming a pushover that's the problem. You gotta not be someone that chooses others and the well-being of others over you. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Bro, I'm kind. I was a pure protector on a date. She loved it. Good. See, even he understood that. What would your advice to be someone who has multiple personalities with conflicting interests? Pick a personality, stupid. Like you don't have multiple personalities. You're just indecisive. That's really what it is. Multiple personalities, conflicting interests. You're just indecisive. You need to find a way to go through a process of elimination to make you stick to one thing that you like to do, and do it for long enough before you move on to the next thing. What flirting tips would you give to someone uncomfortable flirting? Keep flirting till you stop being uncomfortable with it. You can't get girls until you flirt. So you might as well brute force your way through it and give yourself the exposure therapy to flirting that you need. Bro, if I were Drake, I would continue. I hate to retreat, but maybe Drake messed up. Honestly, it'll just get worse if he continues. So, whatever Drake puts out, I highly doubt Kendrick would even need to respond, to be honest. Which, by the way, in my opinion, would be the gangster move. Just let Drake, fall on his own sword. Plus, he still hasn't responded to Pusha T anyway, so all that energy for Kendrick, and he still hasn't responded to Pusha T. Ain't nobody respecting that. This is my first day since learning game that I'm incredibly proud of. Awesome. They like to say we're in a virtual reality. Interesting. Displayed short-term dating. Literally picked her up physically and threw her on the bench. Good. Bro, what's your prayer and Bible routine? I pray all the time. I pray throughout the day. I think of prayer as one-on-one communication with the God being, with the energy that created me. And you can do that without necessarily setting a time apart to do that. Does that make sense? Like, meditation is a form of prayer. Every time you acknowledge the God that is in you, you're praying. Every time you acknowledge the God that is in others, you're praying. Right? Every time you acknowledge an expression of God, even like through a fucking TikTok video, in a way you're praying, because you're interacting with that which is the energy that made you. Does that make sense? As for the Bible, I'm always referring to the Bible throughout my life for whenever, like, whatever thing I'm curious about. I refer to the Bible all the time. So I kind of treat the Bible like Google. I probably treat the Bible the same way you guys treat Google. Does that make sense? It's not a routine. It's just, I live the life. It's a lifestyle for me. Ask hard-hitted questions. Didn't even get to fulfill all my plans. But yeah, that's fine. Please give an example of changing frame through brute force. Pimpin' still, indeed. Let's say you're talking to a girl and she begins to act like she doesn't want you, right? She's indicating disinterest. She's saying things like, well, I have a boyfriend. I don't really see us being together. You're cool as a friend, stuff like that. She's setting a frame that says, you're chasing me and I don't want you. That's a frame she's setting. Your job is to counter that frame with brute force by communicating the exact opposite and saying something to the effect of, oh nah, listen, I don't want you. If anything, you're the one that's trying to get me by trying to use reverse psychology on me. Does that make sense? It's taking what she's doing, flipping it, and making it in your favor. That's essentially how you do it. It's like what frame switching is. If you want more of an example, I have an entire framing 101 series on YouTube. Go check it out. There are different classes of jinn and shaitan. Demon is like an umbrella term. There's different classes of demons. The mods in the group chat should all have a scheduled group call at some point, or a Zoom call. Absolutely. Have you guys decided when? Because I'm waiting on you guys to decide. My English accent gonna rock that call. That's hilarious. Fair enough. I look, sound, walk, talk, dress like a bad boy's protector type. Very good. It was too easy. Oh, and dear God, she kept qualifying herself. Plus, she got mad. I messed her makeup up. More emotional investment in the banks. Good. Jace, my friends, this beef was interesting. Very. Ryu cooked, indeed. Being a protector in front of her friends was cool too. Called her a B, LOL. Very good. And you got away with it, which is even more important. Like cooked. Steak, medium well type of cooked. Whoever brings out proof in the beef wins. I don't know. All Kendrick has to bring out proof for is Drake's daughter, which they've already found her, by the way. Spoiler alert. Her name is Eternity Joy. And Kendrick actually used a line that references eternity and joy in the Meet the Grams track. So I think point already proven. So we're waiting on Drake at this point. Let's see all the proof he's talking about. I mean, Kendrick literally, the cover for Kendrick's art, the cover art for Kendrick's song was literally Drake's prescription meds and Ozempic. Like, what more receipts do you need? What more? Apologies, Jace. It was for the one who said stop pinning non-game related questions. Oh, fair enough. Is it true that a V-taper build activities a similar response? Huh? Do you mean activates? Activates a similar response to when we see an hourglass figure. Yes, it's very true. Yes. V-taper. I mean, V-taper, yes. But just, I think about it more like being broad at the top and narrow at the bottom. That's essentially what it is. But yeah, it's the same parts of their minds are exciting as ours gets excited when we see like that hourglass shape on a woman. It's delicious, right? For them, they just go crazy. And called her a crazy bunch of times, and then I complimented her. She just instinctively kissed me. Very good. You see how you didn't ask for it and she just did it? Perfect. How do you lead with sex appeal? Is it just by teasing and flirting? By teasing and flirting and using sexual innuendos, right? Speaking to her as if the possibility of sex is already there, but you're trying to stop her from it. The fuck? These boys drifting behind me in my parking lot right now. It's annoying. Anyway, where was I? But yeah, sexual innuendos, putting forth the possibility of sex at all times, very important. My dates are gonna only keep getting better from here, Jace. I know they will. I'm almost embarrassed I was ever nervous. Pookie, I was about to crash out. These boys coming towards you. Which boys? If it's the Drake fans, leave them alone. It's fine. They're in denial, man. It's okay. You can't be too mad at them, man. I'm very patient with emotional men because I understand how emotion works. Oh, cars. Nah, I have no such ops. All my ops are intellectual ops. They're either intellectual ops or fighting ops. So we're either sparring mentally or sparring physically in the cage. Join the race, bro. IRL Mario Kart. They already zoomed off. IRL Mario Kart is crazy. Bro started a rant. I meant drifting. Yeah, I know. I just clogged that. My bad. Let's see. Why are people saying J. Cole won? Like Cole will always be number 3 because he didn't even try for the GOAT. Which reminds me, I gotta make a video about that. It's annoying that people are even bringing that up. Like, oh, J. Cole, he won. No, he didn't. He's a pussy. He's a pussy that literally stayed on the sidelines. How the hell does he win? No, he does not. But it's very telling though that people say that because it shows you how they think. They think it's better to not risk public humiliation than taking a risk to destroy your opponent because they're pussy. That's how people think. And those are the same people that go, oh, J. Cole was mature for bitching out like that. It's pussy talk. It's pussy thinking. It's that provider mentality. It's nice guy shit. Let's see. Ryu that's for Ryu. Ryu, somebody's a fan in there. He wants to get to know you a little better. KCPC. Go follow KCPC back. Demonstrate how to apply the concept of validation in different types of objections in an approach. I've literally made 2 different series for that. I made the shit test guide for learning how to deal with different types of resistance from women. And I made the Validation 101 series. It's all on YouTube. Go to my YouTube, it's all there. I promise. A girl left me on red for 4 days and then texted me 8 messages. What does that mean? I mean, she likes you. It's not, no. Which reminds me, I got this girl I got to call soon. Because something similar happened to me yesterday and I haven't replied to her text yet. So she was pretty. Is it good if she's very emotional around you? Yes, that's exactly how it should be. Because if she's not emotional around you, then she's emotional around someone else. What's an example of a massive risk? Something that gets you scared to do. Something you don't want to do. You don't know what a risk is? To pick out whatever thing you're scared to do. Do that. That's it. What are the best things you could do to lead with sex appeal? Sexual innuendos and jokes is very good. So you can do stuff like misinterpretation. You ever heard of that? That's where your girl says something. Well, not your girl, but a girl says something. And you find a way to misinterpret that to mean she's giving you sexual interest. Right? So for instance, I'll do this from time to time. Let's say a girl calls me handsome or, she compliments anything about me. I drink a lot of water. I had this girl once be like, oh, I like the fact that you stay hydrated. Right? She said, I like the fact that you stay hydrated. I like that about you. And I'm like, oh, pause, relax. Damn. Listen, I know I'm an attractive guy, but you can't be that thirsty like that. You see how I connected those 2 dots? They have nothing to do with each other, but I just used the word thirsty to connect those 2 dots. Oh, you can't be that thirsty. Listen, I get it. You want me, you want to drink me like a tall glass of water, but chill out. We just met. We got to get to know each other first. Yeah. So interpretation, like misinterpretation, is a very good way to do it. Absolutely. Where do you watch your animes? Crunchyroll and GoGo Anime, depending on where I am, right? So it's a whole thing, but it's either Crunchyroll or GoGo Anime. Well, Crunchyroll most of the time, obviously, because if I'm gonna pay for that, I'm gonna use it. Do you have to overcompensate if you have a soft, pretty boy face? I feel like I suffer from that. Oh, absolutely, you do. You can have a soft face, but you better have like 2 sleeves of tattoos, or be muscular, or grow a beard, something. Like, I have a soft boy face myself too. That's why I have to grow this beard. So you have to find a way to overcompensate, for sure. For sure. Grow your hair out. Get some ear piercings. Grow a beard. Grow some chest hair. If you can't do any of that stuff, get 2 sleeves of tattoos. Really work on that bad boy dangerous image. Who shows the best protector trait? Kendrick or Chris Brown? Chris Brown is a pure protector. Pure protector type. But that's why you don't want to be him, though. And that's kind of what I keep talking about. Protector versus provider, the protector wins. But the best men are the men in the middle. The protector with the willingness to provide, or the provider with the willingness to protect. That's what you want to shoot for. Personally, how I dress corrects the face and just attitude or persona. That's cool. Very good. Because I know Ryu also suffers from pretty boy syndrome as well. Because a few girls I just matched with on apps tell me they want something serious. Oh, I see. Because the pretty boy thing. That's fine. Take a shirtless pic and put it up on the app. That should send the message really quickly. Should you take it? Take what? K? Take what? Take what? I'm sure you wrote something before that, but TikTok's a good way. Fair enough. I forgot about Asami's. Oh yeah, Asami's is terrible. What are 3 things you can do to demonstrate you're a protector? Risk-taking ability, disagreeability, and not being scared to offend her in general. I mean, you played it right at the beginning. Played what? Somebody tell K what Asami's date was, because it was goofy. That boy got last minute resistance from what I hear. So do you think in Drake's massive comeback, if he does it, would be crazy? What can he do to come back? Let me ask that to Drake fans, actually. If you're a Drake fan listening, let me ask you this. What can Drake possibly do from now on? Because here's the thing, and this is the thing I've always thought throughout this whole thing. And you call me a Kendrick Glazer, but even the things Drake was using to reply Kendrick wasn't enough. Push-ups was good. It's the only good one so far, in my opinion. Push-ups was a decent reply to the Like That verse. But Tailor Made was goofy. Very goofy. It kind of took away from the power of push-ups. If he did nothing but push-ups, that would be decent. But he overcompensated. And being unpredictable as a protector. Yes. He overcompensated. That's one. Then Kendrick did Euphoria. Do y'all really think family matters? Right, because like he did Euphoria and then he did 616. Which I'm guessing Drake didn't even see coming. Right, he didn't see 616 coming. And obviously didn't see Meet the Grams coming either. But just Euphoria versus Family Matters. Family Matters wasn't enough to trump Euphoria. Much less 616. And then on top of that, Meet the Grams, like he's getting washed. Not a Drake fan, but Drake having a daughter is unproven. They found her. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'll agree with you. I know what you mean by unproven. Fair enough. Unproven, in your case, would be Drake coming out and admitting he has a daughter. Right? But don't forget, this is the same Drake that denied he had a son before, too. Don't forget who we're talking about. We're talking about a weasel, end of the day. We're talking about a man that'll say anything to save face. A man that can't be trusted. But, you know, on top of that, yeah, that girl looks just like Drake. That is Drake's face, bro. But, you know, I might be biased. Don't mind me. Go on the internet and type in, whatchamacallit, Eternity Joy, Drake's daughter. You should see. About to pin something goofy. Watch this. Go ahead. Let me see. Hey, Jace, Nigerian here. Been following you since 2021. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Your takes are usually good, but your Drake Kendrick takes are trash. And yet I'm right. Like, are y'all not seeing what's happening? Like, it's happening in front. Like, I can't help you if you can't identify weakness and strength. I can't help you if you can't, like, see what, are you denying your eyes? Drake is getting washed. Told you it was goofy. It was. Forgive him. I think that guy is actually, like, I recognize his name and profile picture. He's been a follower for a while. So I'm kind of disappointed. You should know better by now. You really should. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, wash your eyes, I guess. Like, it's happening right in front of you. Like, what do you want? Like, there's nothing to argue. It's happening right in front of you. Kendrick baited him with the "like that" verse. He increased his aura when J. Cole apologized for his response to the "like that" verse. Then Drake did push-ups. Decent response to "like that." But now he's in a fucking conversation with Kendrick. Now there's an acknowledgement of direct confrontation. Then he did "Tailor-Made," which is goofy, but we're not going to talk about that. For the sake of Drake fans, we're not going to talk about "like that." Drake fans, aka the deniers, are so funny. Hey, the Nile is a river in Egypt, man. I don't know. Then Kendrick comes back with "Euphoria," which is one of the most scathing diss tracks I've ever heard in my fucking life. With 3 beat switches. 3. Like he said he would do. Every track is like the fulfillment of the prophecy in the previous track, which is crazy, but I digress. Came back with "Euphoria." Okay. Destroyed Drake. Washed him. Told him how much he hates him. Told him he thinks he's goofy. Called out his insecurity for not being black enough in the world of hip-hop. Mentioned the fact that he might have some dirt in his closet with regards to him cooperating with the police, the Ghana reference. Told him that he has a complex where he thinks he's a woman, which is true. Scathing. Kendrick has much further to fall if he beats his light-skinned girl. Light-skinned girl, is that what you mean? Then he's cooked. No, not really. No. You're forgetting the world we live in. Domestic violence is terrible. That's one thing. But pedophilia is worse. That's one. 2, again, you're not paying attention. The videos are already out. Like, Kendrick Lamar addressing the issue of his domestic violence with, by the way, not even his wife, a previous girl he had a problem with, is already out. And, again, this is how I know y'all aren't really fans of hip-hop. He discusses all this in his album, Mr. Morale. Where do you think Drake got the information? You think he dug through Kendrick's life? No, he listened to the album, like the rest of us. There's a literal song in the album where Kendrick has an argument with a woman back and forth. The Drake diss was just him qualifying himself to Kendrick if you pay attention. Literally. The Family Matters, literally, it was just like, you're wrong. This is the truth. You're wrong. This is... A lot of men don't know what weakness looks like because they have weakness themselves. Truth, you're wrong. This is... A lot of men don't know what weakness looks like because they have weakness themselves.